Welcome to Transmissions Alt Modes, where we talk all news, comics, and media related to the Transformers. On this episode, Beast Wars manga are getting reprints in Japan. Rise of the Beast has got lots of behind-the-scenes and deleted features coming out. And Skybound's Energon Universe plans are revealed at SDCC 2023. Today is Friday, July 28th, 2023, and this is episode 348 of Transmissions Alt Mode.
Welcome to Transmissions Alt Mode, the podcast that sadly had its scene edited out of Rise of the Beasts. I'm your host, Charles, aka Big C, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team. Jeremy, aka Yakko.
Hey, how's it going?
And Daryl, the Cybertronian Beast.
Hello. It's too bad, too. We were really funny. Let's talk Transformers.
As always, we start off the show by thanking our Donatreons, those lovely people who support us on Patreon and PayPal. We really appreciate your contributions. It helps keep the show going. All our Donatreons get some special perks. You get access to bonus shows, bonus content. You get to watch the show live. You get automatically entered into all our contests. You get some merchandise as well at the higher levels. Lots of good stuff, for being a Patreon. And it all helps support the podcast, helps us keep things going, keep the lights on. So thank you. If you are already a Donatron, if you'd like to become one, just go to transmissionspodcast.com/support. That's where you can sign up. Speaking of bonus shows, we've got our bonus episodes of We Like Big Bots. We've got 10 episodes available on our Patreon page, done by Daryl and Dr. Pants. And more are coming very soon. Dr. Pants is on summer break, so we're hoping that before school starts, we can get some more Big Bots episodes in the can. So look forward to that. And Daryl and Dr. Pants will get right on that. Right?
Yeah. Trying my best to purchase more big bots. So
that's not the hard part. we know you're going to do that anyway. All right. Also, we've got our bonus show for the Transformers Live Play RPG podcast, Empire of Rust. This week was the bonus early uncut version of Empire of Rust, episode 106. Oh, the skies you'll soar. And this is continuing the current adventure where the team is chasing down Starscream and trying to bring him to justice. So they are in the middle of trying to catch Starscream and take him down. So we'll see what their progress is in this episode. And if you are a Donatron, you get access to this early bonus uncut version. If you want the regular version of the show, that will be out on the Empire of Rust free feed this coming Monday, August 1st, I think. No, July 31st. July 31st. That's what it is, this Monday, July 31st. And so that'll be episode 106 in the regular Empire of Rust feed. That's at transmissionspodcast.com/rust. And last thing before we get into the alt mode news, we've got our Toy Hacks code for the month of July. This is gets you 15% off all your orders at toyhacks.com. Thank you to our friends at toyhacks.com for continuing to support us and let us partner with them. So if you want to buy something at toyhacks.com and get that 15% off, just use our code TFMPOD07. Again, that code is TFMPOD07. This is the code for July, so we've only got a couple more days left in the month of July before this code expires. We'll have a new code for you next week for the month of August, but this will work until this coming Monday, July 31st. So you still have a few more days to use this code. Get 15% off all your orders at toyhacks.com. As always, this cannot be combined with any other codes, but it can be used with your Robo points. So enjoy. And if you won any of those gift certificates for toyhacks.com at TFCon last week, you can use it with this 15% off code, because a gift certificate is not a discount code, so it's more like cash, so it can be used. All right, let's jump into alt mode, starting off with some comics news. Okay, first up in comics news, we've got some manga. This is Beast Wars 2 and Beast Wars Neo. They had manga produced at the same time as the anime was made back in the 90s. And those manga are being reprinted by Japanese publishing company Fukan. So the Beast Wars 2 manga will be 352 pages, and that will be about $21. So it's 2,970 yen. That'll be mid-September 2023. Then the Beast Wars Neo manga will be 252 pages, and that will be about $19.83, 2,750 yen. That will be for October 2023. So if you can read Japanese, you can enjoy these manga, these reprints. So this is primarily for our fellow Japanese Transformers fans who are interested in Beast Wars. So unfortunately, I cannot read Japanese, so I don't think these will. I will be picking these up. Of course, the art. I'm sure the artwork is awesome in these manga collections. But if you are interested in the story, it will be a bit difficult. I'm sure fans will get on translating this when they come out eventually, but that might be a little while. So enjoy if you are reading Japanese and are interested in picking these up. Okay, next we've got stuff from Void Rivals, the new Robert Kirkman comic that was debuted back in June. So it continues. This was the kickoff of the Energon Universe, so it is part of the Transformers universe. And so we had Void Rivals number 2 just released last week, and Void Rivals and it sold out just like Void Rivals number 1. So we've got Void Rivals number 2 selling out and going to second printing. Void Rivals number 1 selling out again at second printing and going to a third printing. So we're going to get new covers for the second printing and for Void Rivals number 2, and new covers for the third printing of Void Rivals number 1. So this is the third printing for Void Rivals number 1. That's again has a Jetfire cover, and this is I forget the art. The artist is Ryan Barry and Mike Spicer. So this is the artwork with a new Jetfire image there. That's for Void Rivals number 1 third printing. And then
the good looking Jetfire too.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome image there. This is not a full Shelton, but I did pick up the second printing for Void Rivals number 1, and I might have to pick up the third printing as well. So
you're gonna pull you back in.
Yeah. Void Rivals number 2, which just came out last week, is now getting a second printing, and on the cover now you've got the Skuxoid, which was a reveal at the end of Void Rivals number 2. And the Skuxoid is a little known alien creature from G1 season 3 of the cartoon, and them being in this comic now cements their the Energon universe being a wider vision of containing lots of Transformers references there. So very interesting to have this character show up in Void Rivals number 2. And this image is again by the same artist who did the second printing covers of Void Rivals number 1, and I believe it's Jason something. Shoot. Here it is. Yes. Jason Howard. That's the artist who did the Skuxoid image there. And they all Jason Howard also did the Jetfire image for the second printing of Void Rivals #1. So I guess he's the go-to for a second printing cover art now.
Mm-hmm.
This feels a little manipulative to me. I think it seems like we're getting every issue of Void Rivals now is going to have a surprising Transformers connection, and then that will go to a second printing cover. So you got to pick that up if you want that.
It works.
Yeah, it's working, but I don't have to like it. I'm feeling
It's like Daryl and Ultra Magnus figures.
Yeah. Yeah, can't help but feel personally targeted here with these covers.
They know we'll buy them.
Yeah, they do. So moving on, we've got San Diego Comic-Con 2023. Skybound had a Transformers panel there, Energon Universe. It's talking about. Oh no, sorry, I skipped over a story. We had a preview Ashcan comic released at San Diego Comic-Con from Skybound, showing off some artwork for the new Transformers comic. This is by Daniel Warren Johnson, having some sketches in there, so you can see some of his designs. The Ashcan was $20 at San Diego Comic-Con. Of course, if you weren't at the show, you couldn't really pick it up. I believe Daryl checked eBay before the show, and they're going for upwards of $100, some for $200 for a single issue. Yeah, so good luck finding that. I don't think we're paying that price for this Ashcan here, although the artwork does look pretty cool. Hopefully Skybound will put it up digitally at some point, but yeah, if you are interested, you can check eBay, I guess. But one thing I did notice, the cover there, you have another Optimus Prime design, and it looks like Spike Witwicky sitting on his shoulder.
I thought it was Marty McFly there.
Yeah, I had the same thought. Yeah, with that jacket, looks like that puffy jacket looks like a life vest. But I'm gonna guess it's Spike Witwicky.
Yeah, I mean it's a parallel to the Void Rivals number, or the cover with Jetfire and humans on it.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Or not humans, the aliens.
Yep. Okay, and the last bit of news from San Diego Comic-Con is the Energon Universe Hasbro panel for Skybound Entertainment. So this had Daniel Warren Johnson, the writer and artist on Transformers, along with Josh Williamson, the writer for the Duke and Cobra Commander series, and of course Robert Kirkman, the writer behind Void Rivals and lots of other things you've probably heard of. Walking Dead, Invincible, we also had one of the execs for Skybound, Sean Makowitz, on the panel as well. So they all talked about what was happening with the Energon Universe and getting to work on Transformers. Really feels like Transformers is taking the center stage here in this, you calling it the Energon Universe. That's a hint, with characters showing up in Void Rivals to fill out the kind of world building there. I'm hoping that eventually we'll get more Transformers titles, like with Transformers, it really, if they're really trying to build out a universe, I think we can support additional Transformers titles to go along with that, since we're already getting 2 series with focused on G.I. Joe. So I guess we'll see what happens there. We do have a recap of the panel, although I couldn't find video anywhere. Maybe video
weren't allowing video.
Oh, they weren't? Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the we do have a report from TFW 2005 that gives us just some bullet points. As we already seen, the Skuxoid appears in the Void Rivals comic, and that will be, there'll be more story coming along with that. Someone asked, will Quintessons or Nebulans appear in this universe? And they say, wait. Robert Kirkman says, wait and see. Robert Kirkman also says that he created some building blocks for the universe, and then Daniel Warren Johnson is working off of that and doing his 6-issue arc for the first arc of the Transformers series. The Transformers characters featured in that first arc are chosen because they were Daniel Warren Johnson's favorites. So I think he said several times that Skywarp was one of his favorite Decepticons. So we've got a lot of, and of course we've already seen the images on Twitter of who the starting lineup of the Autobots and Decepticons are. They said that the comic is a starting point, and the world and roster of characters will expand as time goes on. So, stay tuned for that. Someone asked, how can a G.I. Joe kill a Transformers? And they said, read the comics and you'll find out. So that's a little bit ominous. So that we are going to have Joes or maybe even Cobra agents going toe to toe with Transformers. In more Q&A, the Autobots are navigating the Earth for the first time. So this is, kind of a Neo G1, Ultimate Transformers, as they said several times. There are no plans for other Hasbro properties at this time to go into this universe. So no Visionaries or Inhumanoids. The age range for the book is targeted at 12 to 16-year-olds, the same as the mainline Marvel and DC books. So I wonder if I still wonder if G1's going to appeal to kids. Maybe they should have done a 2007 movie comic. I don't know.
I mean, I would think that's also the similar age range that IDW targeted.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I still wonder how many kids are still picking up comics at this point. I think it's we're only the old folks are still reading comics. I don't know. I hope that's not true, but it seems that way. They said there's a clear separation between what Paramount is doing with the live action Transformers and other Transformers movies and what Skybound is doing with Transformers. So there's not really going to be any overlap there, at least initially. They do have plans to republish older comic content from both IDW and Marvel. So we'll see what announcements are going to come down the line for that. And they are not limited to just the 1984 or 1985 Transformers characters cast in the comic. And Robert Kirkman specifically joked that his goal was to get Bulkhead into the comic, which I think is interesting. As why Bulkhead in particular?
Well,
but
because he wanted to let people know that he does know Transformers other than G1.
Yeah,
I mean that's an easy joke to do, and there you go.
Yeah.
Plus, Bulkhead is awesome.
So that's
also,
it looks like
most of this came from a Twitter account for the podcast, Articulated Points. So TFW was just going off of that. So I want to give them credit because they were actually in there and taking the picture and doing the live tweeting.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah.
Articulated PTS on Twitter.
All right. Shout out to Articulated Points. Let's give them a follow if you are still on Twitter. Yeah, so that's cool. Thank you to them for getting all that information out there, and it sounds promising. I hope. I mean, I hope things are going to shape up interesting. We're going to be waiting a few months to see really what's happening. But I'm actually enjoying Void Rivals so far. I mean, it's only been 2 issues, but so far I'm liking how the story is shaping up. I'm curious where that's going to go. I like the oblique Transformers references that make it feel connected, but not directly involved. So we'll have to see where it goes. But that's all the comics news for this week. It feels weird having a lot of comics news in alt mode, but yeah. That's cool. So let's move on to some media news.
All right. In media news this week, we've got, I feel like we've talked about this a bunch, but Rise of the Beast Blu-ray release date. We actually have a date now, October the 10th, 2023. You will be able to buy a Blu-ray of the movie. It's out digitally right now, so if you want to watch it, you can go in there on. I can't remember what service has it. I think it's Prime.
All of them.
It's everywhere. Yeah, you can rent or buy it everywhere.
Yeah, rent it, buy it, or pirate. It's out there. I mean, I'm just saying, it's there. And then there is a next up we have a Rise of the Beast concept art and other material roundup number 3. I'm not going through all of these because there's a bunch of them, but we've done these before. And if you are a fan of this kind of thing, the concept art, the kind of materials they use to create backgrounds and stuff like that, there is a bunch here. So yeah, take a look. More pictures of that Bloodhound character. They did a lot of work on this guy and then never put him in the movie. So interesting. They had 2 different versions of what Bloodhound would look like. Yeah, cool. Anyway, I find that interesting that they did so much work on this character and never put him in the movie. Yeah. Anywho, next up, the Japanese theme song for Rise of the Beast has been revealed. So it's not called Rise of the Beast. In Japan, it's called Beast Awakening. I know we've mentioned that a few times on the show. And the theme song will be premiering on August the 4th. And the song is titled Try This One More Time by Japanese boy band Sexy Zone. So, yeah, it's there's a clip. You can watch it here in the link in the show notes, so you can take a listen there, and go and listen to Try This One More Time by Sexy Zone. Next up, we have the deleted scene from Rise of the Beast, the alternate opening with Peter Cullen. So this is this the transit scene? I can't. Yes. Yeah. So this is the fancy transit scene that everyone's been talking about, and I mean, I've watched this thing, and I didn't find it that bad. It should have been in the movie. It's a great scene.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can there are arguments for both things. Like, I mean, having a Decepticon in the movie kind of takes focus away from the Terracons and the other characters being brought in, and maybe might confuse audiences a little bit. But I mean, I always wanted, want more stuff, more Transformers in the Transformers movie. So I mean, I thought it would have been cool to have a Decepticon show up, although it does raise questions about what the state of the war is. If Decepticons know that the Autobots are here, and like a bunch of them have already followed them here, but still they're still hidden. How are they still escaping notice after all? Like, right. It's like, you're in control of the Decepticon army. This one planet, you keep sending scouts to this one planet, and nobody ever comes back, and they keep dying. You're like, maybe
that's a lot of damage. How do the humans not know?
Yeah.
So I think that the tone of the movie, I agree, it wouldn't really fit. I mean, you see Optimus so aggressive right at the beginning. I don't know. It's just with his arc, I think it worked better without it.
I mean, he's a bit of a dick at the beginning of the movie. Like, I mean, this just puts him further into the dick side of things. And then his arc, he's got much further to come, and he does, right? So, I mean, I think it's better, but it's another scene that's cut that has no humans in it. So, I mean, it could have been another Transformer versus Transformer fight that, could have started the movie. Anyway, here it is. You can watch it. It's not fully finished. So if you are watching it and you haven't seen it yet, you're like, why does it look so shitty? That's because it was cut from the movie pretty early on. Next up, we have a video from Collider. It's a behind the scenes featurette that so it's one of the film's most exciting sequences and how it came to be. So this is the fight with Prime and Scourge on the mountainside.
It shows how they didn't actually destroy a mountain in Peru filming the movie.
Yeah.
Cowards.
They did. Yeah. All right. And next up, we've got some behind the scenes voiceover work with Anthony Ramos and Peter Dinklage. So obviously Anthony Ramos was the live action actor in the movie. And he's talking here. And then Peter Dinklage voiced Scourge. So I don't know whether you can play any video from that or not, but
I was playing video from it. I'm not playing any audio because I don't want to get copyright claimed.
Gotcha. Okay. And lastly, it's nice to hear the audio. I know we're not playing it, but you can hear Peter Dinklage voicing Scourge in that clip, and it's quite good. He's got a great voice. And then the last piece of news we have is
your favorite person.
My favorite guy, Lorenzo Di Bonaventura, teases the future of Transformers and G.I. Joe in an interview with One Take News. So
my fourth grade teacher was Miss Di Bonaventura, and I always wonder if she was related to him.
Is she still? I mean, she can't possibly still be alive. It's just...
that was in the early 1900s. Right?
My parents are still alive, Daryl.
This is way back in the 20th century.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, this is an interview. He's quoted by saying, "I don't look at things like a universe. I look at them as a story, and the Joes will be part of the story. I also think the term crossover means different things for different people. For me, the Joes, whoever they are entering the world of Transformers, not combining the two worlds. The plan is to essentially do a crossover, but for the next movie, it's the Joes that are coming in for whatever the ending of Rise of the Beast has led them to believe it's possible."
That's a whole lot of nothing.
Yep. And then he goes on to say, "Oh, they will interact. We haven't developed a script yet, though. What I will say is that is just like we do with every other movie. It will be a team of Transformers and humans fighting the fight. The Joes will be part of that." Good. Great.
And they won't develop the script for a little while now until this writer strike and actor strike is over. So,
and guess what? We don't need a script.
We've already done that with the movie.
Yeah, Revenge of the Fallen proves you do need a script.
Oh, Lorenzo, don't ever change, but don't be involved with Transformers. That's it for media news.
All right, I guess we will finish up the show with convention news.
All right. These are we got some exclusives that were from San Diego Comic-Con. So likely a lot of these are not available now, but Big Pen had a officially licensed Transformers, or they have a Transformers collection, and they have a new item that is Ironhide, and this was an exclusive edition of 500 pieces made just for San Diego Comic-Con, and it is and it looks really good. And then it looks like this says that This is both are scheduled, but they don't mention another one other than Ironhide. So I don't know. There might be other ones, but the existing figures are Optimus Prime, Megatron, Starscream, Jazz, Bumblebee, Soundwave, Hot Rod, and Galvatron, and Grimlock. And apparently, this new one is scheduled for release by, well, this is mid-May 2023, so probably 2024 for that. I don't know, but this one was available at San Diego Comic-Con. So if you're interested, probably check eBay or I don't know if the Pigpen site has an online store for buying leftovers, but I doubt there are leftovers.
I'm going to guess the other one is Ratchet.
That would probably be a good guess, but the story didn't mention any other figures. Next, we have from Funko a San Diego exclusive metallic Freddy Funko as Megatron, and apparently Freddy Funko is their mascot, and he's wearing a Megatron costume. And this was, this is just your standard Funko Pop. Has special metallic finishing, and it was included in the Camp Fun Days 2023 box of fun that was only available at San Diego Comic-Con, and it was limited to 500 units. So I would imagine this is also going to be going for a high price on eBay. The next thing we have is not San Diego Comic-Con, but it is also sold out. So hopefully you were able to get this in Ireland. Transformers the movie fan screening and presentation is being put on by Big Bang Comics in association with Hasbro as part of the first Irish Transformers Fan Day. This will be Saturday the 29th of July at 2 p.m. at Movies at Dundrum. So this was €11, and it has interviews, including Evan Brooks from the Hasbro design team, product presentations, giveaways, and special guest Chris McFeely of Transformers The Basics, and the fan screening of the 86 movie. So this looks like it'll be a fun event. I'm wondering if Evan is actually going to be flying out there for it. I mean, they're doing product presentations. I would hope so. But Big Bang Comics is one of the bigger comic stores in Ireland. Nick Roach was always doing stuff with them. So, I think this is a pretty awesome event. And then finally, we have an announcement for Hasbro PulseCon 2023. It will be Friday, September 22nd at 11 a.m. Eastern. And going from 2 days to 1 day, I guess. But Hasbro PulseCon, I think, has been a great thing the past few years. And glad to see that they're continuing it. So I'm sure more stuff is going to come out about like special guests and stuff as we get closer, but great to see that they're continuing on with PulseCon. So that is convention news.
I miss PulseCon being an actual thing.
It was never an actual thing. You're thinking of HasCon.
Oh, that is what I'm thinking of.
Where, you can celebrate with your family.
Oh.
Hey, Mike got to go to the only HasCon.
Yeah, he got us some merch. Yeah.
First and only annual.
All right. Well, I think that'll do it for this episode of Transmissions Alt Mode. Thanks, everyone, for watching and listening. As always, at the end of every episode, we give a shout out to our Masterpiece Donatrons. These are the folks who continue to support us at the highest level on our Patreon. We really appreciate that support. That's why we give them a mention in every episode. So thank you once again to John 4X11 Good and Demon Tech 82. You guys rock. All right. Jeremy, Daryl, you guys rock as well.
We know.
Thank you as always. And thank myself for being here as well.
You also rock.
I do say so myself. We've done another week of Transmissions Podcast. We'll see you next week for more. The train's not stopping. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, this sounds like rock and or roll. Later.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Transmissions. If you'd like to join the conversation, travel to our Discord channel at transmissionspodcast.com/Discord. Want some cool transmission swag? Feast your eyes on our transmissions gear at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. If you'd like to support our podcast, go to transmissionspodcast.com/support or tell your friends about our show. We'll see you next time.